A context question based on stanza 1, song Go and Catch a Falling Star. So as we have discussed earlier, when you write a context question, you need to basically we write 4 paragraphs, but it depends on the facts that you have. Sometimes if you don't find a lot of techniques in the given stanza, then you can make it into 3 paragraphs. So it depends on your the facts that you have, right? So here, what we are going to analyze, or what we are going to write today, it's the stanza 1, Go and Catch a Falling Star. We'll take it as a context. So first paragraph, where you have to do the introduction, you have to introduce from where this extract is taken from. So introduce it, this extract is taken from, right? This extract is taken from the poem or the song, let's say, Go and Catch a Falling Star by John Donne, who belongs to the metaphysical era of poetry. The poem is a lyric. Metaphysical era poetry. The poem is a lyric which goes against the women idolized in courtly love poetry. Donne highlights the factor, John Donne highlights the factor and challenge the ideal woman, in courtly love poems. The readers find the poem as anti-feminist poem. The reader finds the poem as anti-feminist poem. Okay. Right. Then the second paragraph. The first extract of the poem, or in this extract of the poem, let's say in this extract of the poem, the poet highlights a small frequency. The poet highlights a small frequency of having a fair and virtuous woman in the world. having a fair and virtuous woman in the world. The first line suggests, with an impossible task, of catching a falling star, which highlights the deterioration of the women's chastity. And the futility of finding a good woman. The idea of mandrake root to suggest the impossibility impossibility of finding a true woman. Devil's foot, which are joined by a tissue cannot be cleft. So the poet wants to emphasize the idea that nobody cannot cleft the devil's foot.
Emphasize.
Nobody cannot cleft, C-L-E-F-T, cleft the devil's foot. Mermaids too are sea fairies. And popular in mythical stories, historical stories. Mythical historical stories, put a semicolon and write and impossible to appear in real life or impossible to see in real life. The ending of the first stanza the poet sums up the idea that encounter a true woman is impossible at all, and the women lost their innocence as well as their faithfulness. Okay. Next paragraph. As the theme of the stanza 1, poet highlights the infidelity, F-I-D-E-L-I-T-Y, infidelity, fickleness, F-I-C-K-L-E-N-E-S-S, fickleness, infidelity, fickleness, and the inconsistency of female sexuality. The treacherous, T-R-E-A-C-H-E-R-O-U-S, treacherous nature of women. Okay. And emphasizes the idea that all the women are false. Emphasizes the idea that all the women are false. Okay. Then, as techniques, next paragraph, the last para. As techniques, the writer brought out, or the writer brought out a playful tone with a dramatic opening, a playful tone with a dramatic opening. Even the tone changes, even the tone becomes authoritative. Even the tone becomes authoritative. Example, right? Go and catch. With the use of imperative verbs. As he wants to highlight the main idea of the poem, which is the small frequency of having a truthful woman. The poet uses a colloquial language. Colloquial, you want the spellings? Colloquial language. The poet uses colloquial language and logical argument to highlight his intention. The use of imagery, the mandrake root, came from mythical stories. Mythical stories and also you can say it is an allusion. Mandrake root, an allusion, ALLUSION. Like we sometimes associate it with witchcraft. Okay. Right. Then yeah. Okay. Then go and catch a falling star. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So mandrake root. Yeah. Finally, we'll add one more. Falling star can be taken as a metaphor where he highlights falling of an angel while referring to the women who fell from virtue and fidelity. Who fell from virtue and fidelity. Okay. Who fell from virtue and okay. So finally, the poet highlights, or you can say emphasize, or stress on, or indicates a close attention to the argument that he develops or manifest. Yes, Vihara. Manifest, close attention to the argument that he develops regarding the fact of infidelity of women. Okay. So this you can take as a complete context answer from stanza 1. Right. So you can mark down and you can follow the same sample and do the next stanza also. Introduction, then analyzing the given stanza, then you can talk about the themes and you can talk about the techniques used in that particular stanza. When you get a context question, always talk about the given stanza, not about the whole poem. In the introduction, you can add some factors about the whole poem. But always remember, we are analyzing the given stanza, given extract. Okay, right.